In this video I will show you how to make duck prosciutto at home. For this you need duck breast of course, and then salt and cure. And then for the spices I'm using thyme and marjoram, but you can use whatever you want, it's completely up to you. First step is to weigh your duck breast, because the salt and cure is calculated by weight. So put it on a scale, note down the weight, and then in the next step we calculate the salt. With the vacuum method I'm using, we use 2.75% salt and 0.25% cure number 2. Once you measured out the weight, then you can put the salt and the cure to the duck breasts, and then make sure that you coat them evenly and massage it in. And also make sure that in the next step you get all the salt from the bowl into the vacuum bag. Speaking of which, now you can put it into a vacuum bag. I'm putting now both in one vacuum bag. You can also split it and make it two, completely up to you. But as you can see here, make sure that you get all the salt in. Then pack them tight in the bag, and the next step then is to vacuum it. And once you've vacuumed it, you can put it into the fridge for about 5 days. The amount of days is depending on the weight, but make sure that you turn it every day to distribute the cure and the salt evenly, and the curing process then will work fine. After the 5 days, I now put together red pepper, a bit of thyme and marjoram, as I said, and I will use this now as a coating for the drying process. You can also do it completely without those herbs or use herbs on your own. That's completely up to you. You can also make it spicy with some chilies. Yeah, as I said, you do as you want. What I'm now doing is I'm blitzing them very finely. Just makes it easier to coat the meat and to distribute it evenly. Bit of smell. Wow, smells wonderful. Now get it out, and as you can see, it's a super fine powder now, which we can use to coat the meat in the next step. For this we get it out of the freezer, get it out of the vacuum bag, and then pat it dry. As you can see, it firmed up a bit. It lost some weight already. Color looks good. So let's get the spices on top of the breast. This works similar to the salt and cure, just make sure it's coated evenly from all sides. And once it's coated, we can go to the next step, which is packing the meat into cheesecloth. You can also use butcher's twine, but for me this extra layer helped to actually get the spices on the meat and not in my refrigerator. So pack it in tightly, then get some butcher's twine and tie it up. And as you can see here, they are now ready and can be put into the refrigerator. But before we do that, we weigh them again. This is because we want to monitor the weight loss. So write down the weight again, and yeah. It should be in the refrigerator for around 2 to 3 weeks. Should lose around 30 to 35% of the weight. It can be quicker, it can take longer. So yeah, make sure that you write it down. And I also attached the weight now to the meat, so I know okay which meat is which. Write it down, and so nothing can go wrong. So let's put it into the refrigerator. As you can see, this can be done pretty easily. I just put a string at the end of the refrigerator and then hung them in there. Just make sure that they don't touch each other or touch anything. They should free float basically. And then time after time you can weigh your meat. This is now after I think 2.5 weeks. And let's check the numbers. Yeah, that means it lost around 33%. Check the other one, and this also lost 34%, so roughly 35%, which is fine. Now I can cut it open, untie it, and now it's time to look for some spoilage, but this looks good. Also make sure that it doesn't smell bad or anything. But yeah, this looks like an awesome duck prosciutto. Let's cut it in. Wow, look at the color. Super fragrant, super juicy. Yeah, let's give it a try. For me personally, it's super important to cut it super thin. It just makes a better taste. Wow, it's super rich, a bit of salt. Yeah, you can really taste the flavor of the meat. Yeah, it's wow. I really love it. So let's put it on some bread and test it again. Yeah, I have it here with a bit of butter, so it should taste even better now. And yeah, the flavor profile is very, very good. So it's also not too much herbs and spices. You can really taste the duck meat. So yeah, I love it. It's super simple. If you liked the video, then please subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.